Katherine Black reacts. So the Coronation Street Emmerdale crossover CorrieDale. This is part 3. We've done Emmerdale, we've done Corrie, now we're doing the convergence. And it is the most ridiculous storyline you've ever heard. So let me put this into context. We've got half the cast of Emmerdale driving randomly. Different people, different storylines, different convergence, randomly driving round about the M6, round about Yorkshire area. Then we've got half the cast of Corrie. Different storylines, different conversions, randomly driving somewhere in the Manchester area. To put this into context, Manchester has 2.2 million driving miles a day. Yorkshire has 7.7 million driving miles a day. So for all these people, and nobody else, there was not another vehicle involved in this big crash. It was just half of the Corrie cast and half of the Emmerdale cast. The likelihood of that? Can we have some statistics? It would be like winning the lottery 100 times on 100 consecutive weeks, I would imagine. Anyway, so we've got Debbie's wedding. Billy has found out about Todd being abused by Theo. So Billy's driving the bus and taking some of them home early. So we have Billy driving the bus. We have Todd and Summer. We have Asher and Dev. We have David and Shauna. We have Tracy, Steve and Cassie. We have Fizz and Tyrone, Mary and Sally, and Theo, who has been abusing Todd, jumps in at the last minute. They're off and driving. Debbie tries to stop Carl leaving drunk and jumps in the car to stop him. He's drunk as a skunk. They're off. Driving. Kevin sees Debbie jumping in the car with drunk Carl, grabs Abby, gets in a car. They're off. So then we go to Weatherfield. Yes, Weatherfield. Coronation Street was still with Coronation Street. That was Coronation Street was still with them. But this isn't at the wedding. This is back home. Back home from Weatherfield, completely different direction. Carla, Becky and Betsy are heading for Hull with new names and passports, fake passports presumably, that she's got in about 3 hours, and they're heading to Hull to a ferry to escape to Spain. That's them on the road. Kit has found out about Carla being locked in a storage container by Becky. He's rescued Carla from the storage container. They're rushing gun-ho to get to Becky, Betsy and Lisa. So they're on the road. Carla rings Lisa to warn her about Becky. Lisa screams, "Stop the car." They're on the motorway, on a road somewhere. They're driving. They're not on the motorway. It's an A road where it all happens. So they're driving. Everybody's driving. So then we have Tim, who's working. He's driving a taxi, bless him, just doing his job. And he's picked up this couple that want to go all the way back to Yorkshire. The couple are Dr. Liam and Chastity, the pub landlady. They're going back to Yorkshire, they're driving. So now we go to the Emmerdale lot. Should we do it in a separate video? No, let's just carry on. So, John and Aaron are going to Manchester Airport. No, they're not. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're escaping to France, apparently. Robert and Joe are chasing them. So they're going as well. They know through telepathy that they're going to Manchester Airport because nobody's told them, but they're just chasing off there. Sarah and Jacob have just got married. They're having a baby, but she's not carrying it. Charity's carrying the baby for her, but it's not their baby. They think it is, but it isn't. And Mac thinks it's his baby now, but it's not Mac's baby either. It's Charity and Ross's baby. So Sarah and Jacob are off to the airport to go to Portugal on a lovely honeymoon. They're happy. Charity isn't happy because Max just found out that she's having his baby, only she isn't having his baby, she's having Ross's baby, but he doesn't know that. So he's on a mercy dash with Charity to the airport to head the happy couple off and tell them that the baby isn't theirs. Then we have Moira and Kane, who they've just gone along for the ride, really. They want to be in convoy. So they're off driving as well. After the crash, big crash, all these vehicles converge, kaboom, bang, 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 bang. People are, Some are in states, there's blood everywhere, there's fire, there's smoke, there's noise, everybody's going crazy. After the crash, some of the cars screech up and we think, oh, they're all right. Those few cars have escaped the major collision. Nah, the minibus blows up with Billy in it, kills Billy and takes half of the rest of them out as well. Theo has gone back to the bus. He could rescue Billy. They have a couple of minutes heart to heart and Theo says, nah, I'm not rescuing you. He comes out and leaves Billy to die. That's that. Summer's distraught because Billy's one of her many, many dads. What happens next? All the vehicles collide, kaboom! And Asha is the lapsed paramedic who has had a nervous breakdown after being racially abused in another deep and meaningful storyline that was heartbreaking and horrible and no brevity, nothing light. It was all very... So, Asha has had a nervous breakdown. She's tried to commit suicide. She's been in a psych unit. She's come out. She doesn't want to be a paramedic. She's forced back into her role. Shona is having a sick baby. Baby and mum might not survive. They've got to have a special procedure. Shona goes into labour, of course she does. So Aaron's hurt and he's lying beside a vehicle, hurt. And Robert comes over to him, screeches up out of the car, goes to Aaron, kissy kissy, happy happy, they propose. Aaron proposes to Robert. Robert agrees. John appears with a gun, takes Aaron off into the woods. Of course he does. Kane sees what's happening, goes after them. So, and Kit's there as well. PC Kit from Corrie ends up in the woods as well. Of course he knows who John is because, you know, Manchester and Yorkshire, they're not a million miles away. So, of course, he's heard about the serial killer John, whatever his surname is. So, Kit's in the wood chasing Aaron and John, and Kane's in the wood coming from a different direction chasing Aaron and John. Scuffle, scuffle, scuffle. Aaron and John, it's not Aaron and John, it's Robert and John. Forget Aaron. Aaron's lying injured by a vehicle. We're with Robert. Robert and John are dancing. They're doing a little waltz with the gun between them. Scuffle, 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 scuffle. The gun goes off and shoots Kane in the stomach. Kane's hot. Kane can't die. We can't lose Kane. He's the only piece of totty in there. Anyway, Kane's shot. Aaron's hurt. Robert's scuffling with John. Kit rescues Robert. They go off. Kane, despite being shot and dying, he says, nah, I'm not giving up on this, and goes chasing after John. Billy's dead in the minibus. There's dazed and injured people everywhere. Shona's having a baby. Aaron and Robert are having a snog. And then we cut to John lying dead in the woods. Becky is about to escape. Lisa's in an ambulance. Betsy's crying. Lisa's very, very sick in an ambulance with blood and cut bits and broken bones. And Becky rushes into the ambulance to give her a kiss before leaving her and walking out on them again for the second time. And as she leans over, Lisa, on her deathbed, she grabs her handcuffs and just goes slap and says, Rebecca, whatever her name is, you are under arrest, and lists a load of things that she's done. I mean, clever girl, through all that, when she's escaping, she remembers to pick up her handcuffs. It's amazing. It's brilliant. So, we've got between Yorkshire and Manchester, we've got 10 million cars on the road that day. And Corrie and Emmerdale are the only ones involved. And it's mayhem. And that's where we end the episode. Billy's dead. John's dead. Everybody else is dazed and injured, and Shauna's having a baby. Happy days. Nice chat.